Most gym owners think the way to get more members is to get more leads. And I get it. That makes sense on paper, but more leads doesn't always equal more members. And in this video, I'm going to show you how to sign up more members for your gym by getting less, but better quality leads. In fact, I'm going to show you a case study of a gym owner where we tripled the price of their leads, cut their lead volume in half, and they signed up 3 times as many members. So let's start by looking at the case study of the gym owner that I'm referencing. I'm going to show you their data from January, February, March, and see the change that we made. So in January, that's when we started working with them and running their ads. Now you can see we spent $14.71 on ads. We got 124 leads at just under $12 a lead. So the marketing side of it was great. And most people would think, oh, this is awesome. But look what happened next. From there, we were able to book 10 appointments, which was very low. That was a booking percentage of 8%. Now, 4 people showed up. They closed 3 of them, and their CAC, their cost to acquire a client, was $490, which is way too high. We really want this to be $200 or less. So what we did was, whenever I see this, when I see that, hey, we're getting lots of leads at a cheap price, but our booking percentage is lower than acceptable, then that tells me we're getting a lot of low intent leads and we need to get higher intent leads. So did we do? We introduced some friction. I'm going to show you the 3 stages of lead generation after we walk through this data set. So that's what we did. In the month of February, we made those adjustments. We spent $18.81. We got 55 leads at a cost per lead of $34. Most people would say, holy smokes, this isn't working. Our cost per lead has tripled and this is way too expensive. But look what happened next. From there, 26 appointments were booked, which was a booking percentage of almost 50%. 8 showed up. They ended up signing up 13 from just more people that actually reached out and they were able to bring in and sign up, where we actually skipped the appointment side. And so at the end of the day, they signed up 13 new members with the cost of acquiring the client at $144. And then the month of March was almost identical. Leads at $36, booked 23, 52% booking rate. 8 showed up, they signed up 10 at a CAC of $161. So in January, we got lots of cheap leads, but a very expensive cost to acquire. And in February and March, when we made the adjustments that I'm going to show you next, we got way more people sign up, way less leads at triple the price, but we ended up signing up 3, almost 4 times as many members at a much lower cost. So let's walk through the stages of lead generation. Stage 1 is discovery, stage 2 is friction, and stage 3 is optimization. So let's walk through these in more detail. So stage 1, this is what I call discovery. Whenever I start running ads for a gym, I always start with what I call a basic lead form. That's exactly what we did here in January for this gym owner. Because what I want to determine when I start running their ads is, I just want to see, is getting ads easy or is it hard? For this gym owner, it was easy. We were getting lots of leads at a really cheap price. So that's the first thing that we want to determine. Now from there, what we need to do is we need to collect data for a minimum of 4 weeks, but realistically 8 weeks is better. Now with this gym owner that I'm referencing here, we made adjustments after 4 weeks because I was very comfortable with making those adjustments. But sometimes if I'm not feeling fully confident or comfortable, then we'll collect a little bit more data. The data that we're looking to collect is the entire sales cycle, right? We need to generate leads. Then those leads need to get booked for an appointment or a trial or whatever we're running in your gym. Then those leads need to show up. Then we need to close them into members. We need to see the whole sales cycle, because if we're getting leads and we're getting them booked, but a lot of them aren't showing, well, that's a different constraint. Or maybe we're getting a lot of leads, we're getting lots to book, we're getting lots to show up, but the gym owner sucks at turning them into members. So we need to collect all the data, because whatever the bottleneck is in that sales cycle, they require different solutions to those problems. Now, what we're talking about specifically here is lead generation and generating higher quality leads. So what I'm looking for here in this discovery phase is, if we're able to generate a lot of leads and their booking percentage is good, then we're going to stick with the basic lead form, because that's proving that we're getting leads that are interested enough and we're booking lots of appointments. Now, if we're getting lots of leads and our booking percentage is very low, just like this case study, Then what we're going to do is we move to stage 2, which I'm going to walk through next. But what I wanted to do before we get there is actually show you exactly how I like to build a lead form. I find that a lot of agencies or coaching programs that use lead forms, which is extremely common, they make them way too generic and don't provide the lead with enough information about what to expect. In the marketing space, what I find works really well is providing people what are the next steps, what are the expectations. So this is how I build a basic lead form. First, what I like to do is I like to let them know who and where we help them. So this is a gym owner in Greeley, Colorado. So we help women 40 to 60 in Greeley get strong, toned, and fit. That's the first thing that they see. So they see, okay, am I 40 to 60 and living in Greeley? Yes or no? And if so, that then intrigues them to keep reading. Then what I like to do is 3 simple steps to start. I'm letting them know these are the exact steps we're going to take. So step 1, interest. Register your interest in the program. Step 2, no sweat intro. On the next page, book your no sweat intro with our fitness coordinator. And then step 3, on your call, we'll find the perfect program for your goals, lifestyle, and budget. Then it's like register your interest. That's the next step. So they go here, and then this is the first step, this one right here. Please pop your contact information below to see how many spots are currently available. On the next page, you'll get the opportunity to book your no sweat intro call with our fitness coordinator. So they do that. Then on the next page, they book their no sweat intro call. They click here, they book their call. You can see that we're laying out the exact steps and they're going through that exact steps. I find this works very well for lead generation. So that's what it looks like in the discovery phase. First, we build this simple lead form, this basic lead form, and we do it this way that's very clear and concise. Then we collect data. If it's working, we stick with the basic lead form. If we're getting leads and we're booking appointments, we'll stick with that basic lead form. But if we are getting leads and we aren't booking appointments, then what we need to do is we need to add friction, which is stage 2 of lead generation. So if a gym is getting lots of leads for a low cost per lead and their booking percentage is low, we start to add friction. Friction means that we make it harder for contacts to opt in, because the theory is if it's harder for someone to opt in, only leads that are more serious are actually going to take action. And to do this, we build a conditional lead form. Now, this is how and what a conditional lead form looks like for us. You're going to notice the first thing, it's exactly the same. Who do we help and where do we help them? Now, this is a different gym owner. This is in Yuba City, California. Then we walk through, how does it work? Same process. We let them know, first you're going to take the quiz, because what we do with a conditional lead form is we get them to answer a few questions. Then based on the answers of their questions, we either let them opt in or we let them know that, hey, I don't think our program is the best fit for you right now. So the first thing they're going to do is they're going to take the quiz. Then if they qualify, then for this gym owner, they're running a 7-day jumpstart. So they can opt in to claim that 7-day jumpstart. And then on the next page, they'll book their first intro session. So what are they going to do? They're going to take the quiz. Now, these are the questions that I like to set up for a conditional lead form. First, I like to ask them, if we can ask them some questions. If they say yes, then it moves to question 2. If they say no, then what it does is it takes them to this page right here where it says, based on your answers, this might not be the best fit for you at this time. Now, if they say yes, that it's okay for us to ask them some questions, then we say, what do you feel you need the most support with? And we have a few options there for them to select. Now, from there, they move to number 3, which is, are you looking for quick results, or are you open to us helping get lasting results, even if it takes more time? Now, for here, if they select quick results, because as a gym owner, you don't want people coming in with the mindset of quick results. That means they're expecting to come in for 6 weeks, 8 weeks, 10 weeks, do something, and then bounce. We don't want that. We're trying to gain members that are here for the long term. If they say quick results, again, it takes them to this page. If they say they're open to lasting results, it takes them to question 4. Assuming this is the right fit, how soon are you wanting support with your fitness? We have a few options. We have right away, within the month, or I'm just browsing right now. If they select right away or within the month, they move to question 5. If they select browsing right now, it takes them to this page. And then the last question is a price framing question. Our program is not a basic, cheap, do-it-yourself type membership. Our clients invest in a coach-led, results-driven program that costs more than a gym like a YMCA or Planet Fitness. We'll put in there, what are kind of like the cheaper big box gyms around that area, but significantly less than personal training. Are you willing and able to invest in your health if the program is the right fit for you? If they say no, then it takes them to this page. If they say yes, then they've qualified, they've worked their way through all the questions, and then it takes them to the actual opt-in page, which looks exactly like this one right here. Pop in your contact information below. In this circumstance, it's to claim your 7-day jumpstart. Then from there, it takes them to the next page where they can book their first session to start their 7-day jumpstart. So this is what a conditional lead form looks like. And the reason that this works is because if you're not serious and you're just like totally kicking tires, you're not going to take the time to answer these questions. But if you are genuinely serious, you will take the time. And so this allows us to introduce friction, and only the people that pass these questions are able to opt in. This is exactly what we did with this gym owner. This is where we got way less leads at triple the price, but then ended up signing up way more members because the quality of the leads that we were getting were much higher. Now, if we introduce a conditional lead form and everything looks great, we're satisfied with the results, just like this gym owner that I'm showing here, we'll just keep doing that. If we feel like the conditional lead form has shown better results than the basic lead form, but we still feel like there's room for optimization, then sometimes what we'll do is we'll move to stage 3, which is optimization. So if we determine that the conditional lead form is outperforming the basic lead form, then we may test a landing page if we think we can still get better results. So what we'll do in this circumstance is we'll build a high converting landing page. And I'm not going to take you through that. That's like a whole separate video of what we do to build a high performing landing page. But we build a high performing landing page that targets a gym's ideal client. Sometimes when we do this, this produces better results than the conditional lead forms, and other times it doesn't. So this is sort of the last test. We want to see, okay, does a basic lead form work? Does it work in getting leads and booking enough appointments? If it does, then we'll stay there. If it's not, then we move to the next stage and we introduce a conditional lead form. Now, when we start a conditional lead form, are we getting higher quality leads and satisfied with the booking percentage? If so, we'll stay there. If we feel we can make it a little bit better, we'll optimize a little more and sometimes test a landing page. And we'll see, will a landing page deliver better results than a conditional lead form? Because it's the same theory. If someone goes from an ad to a landing page, now they actually have to read the landing page. They have to click the buttons to actually opt in. So it's more steps than just using a basic lead form. Okay, so takeaways are more leads isn't always better. And a lot of the time I have found that less but better leads is usually better. And sometimes a low cost per lead equals a high cost to acquire a client. I like to think in extreme examples. Imagine a scenario where we were able to generate 1,000 leads at $1 a lead. And you're like, wow, this is amazing. But from those 1,000 leads, you only signed up one member. So that 1,000 leads cost you $1,000 and you got one member. So the cost to acquire that member is $1,000. Now, let's think of the other end of the spectrum. Let's say we spent the same $1,000. We only got 10 leads. They were $100 a lead. But every single one of those 10 leads we got turned into a member. So you got 10 new members. You spent the same $1,000. So those members cost you $100 each. So in scenario one, with an amazingly low cost per lead, you only got one member and it cost you $1,000. On the other end of the spectrum, with what most people would consider, myself included, a ridiculously high cost per lead at $100, you actually got 10 members. So your cost to acquire the client was $100, which is a way better scenario that you would be really happy with. So usually a higher cost per lead equals more members and a lower cost to acquire a client. So CAC, your cost to acquire a client, is truly the only metric that matters, but you do need to use cost per lead, booking percentage, show percentage, closing percentage to determine what steps need to be taken next to produce better results. To get higher intent leads, introduce friction into the opt-in process. Okay, so if you're finding that you're getting lots of leads, but you're just not able to turn those leads into members, one of the solutions might be to introduce friction so you get less but higher intent leads. And higher intent leads are going to lead to more members and ultimately a lower cost to acquire a client. And that's all that you care about at the end of the day. You want more members and you want those members to be cheap to acquire. Now, if you would like to see if your gym is a good candidate to install our N5 growth system so that you can start to add a minimum of $78,000 to your location annually, click on the link in the description and book a demo call with me. We'll see if we can help you out.